All right, it's October 2nd. I've been off work for a month today. Um, a lot of people have no idea that I've resigned. Well, people at work do. My coworkers would. My friend that just left this morning was also working at the same place, and she left a week after I did. Put in her resignation as well. I remember I left early that day because I had some odd hours to burn up on my vacation time, and I had told her it would be my last day, but I guess I forgot to tell her that I was leaving at lunch, and I remember she's like, "Oh, you're leaving now?" And I'm like, "Yeah." And she's like, "Wow, it's gonna suck without you." And that was a month ago today. And I dropped her off on the airplane this morning, and that's exactly how I felt. It's gonna suck without her. But she's got to do what she's got to do. We all do. We all do. I've known a couple of people now. I've been friends with them, old coworkers. Even though I'm not working with them anymore, we've remained friends for about 15 years. And things are different. A while back, a really good friend of mine, we've always kind of shared the same interest in music. He likes a lot of the same bands that I did. And I'm not really a concert person, but I'm not one of the kinds of people that typically goes to a lot of concerts, but occasionally if there's a band I really want to see, I might go if I can find, people to go with me. And my friend used to call me up and he'd say, "Hey, such and such is going to be in town. Do you want to go see him?" And, depending on what it was, yeah, usually, yeah, it sounds like a good idea. Let's go see him. He'd say, "Okay, well, I'll buy tickets ahead. That way we'll get good seats, and then you can pay me when I get the seats." So, okay. And that's how we always did it. And just recently in July, he told me about a concert that was going to be an outdoor show, and there was a lot of things going on with me at that time. I knew that I might not be working where I was very much longer in July. I knew that because I figured pretty soon they're going to tell me I have to stick something up my nose or in my arm, and I'm going to tell them no on both counts. Not going to do it. And see, that's something my friend wouldn't have understand because he's already been basted. And I told him, I said, "Well, look, here's the problem I have, and that's if for whatever reason I can't get into the show because of all this crazy identification they're asking for. By that time, this was July and it was going to be in September, and I'm thinking, well, I don't know what's going to happen, but there was a lot of push going on about that for public venues, and I thought, it'd be just my luck to pay 70 or 75 or $80 out to see a concert and go and not be able to go because I couldn't prove that I'd been basted, and I said that to my friend. That was my concern. And he said, "Well, that's my risk. If they don't have the show, I'll get the money back on my card. And then, if you've paid me the money, I'll reimburse you." And I'm like, "No, that's not what I mean. What I'm saying is, after you buy the tickets and I go in, what if they say you have to have identification?" And I'd be out the money. I wouldn't be able to go in. And it would suck to find out right at the gate And he didn't see any concern whatsoever, but then again, he's already based it, so he wouldn't see any concern with that, and that was my problem. And it was really something I didn't want to take the chance, because I knew what might be coming, even with my job. And that's something he certainly wouldn't have understood, because, like I said, he's already went to step 3 and taken the basting. He did that right away. Testing or not, he's going to take the basting, and he did. So he certainly wouldn't understand that I would just walk away from a job because I wasn't going to let somebody stick something into my nose, or stick something into my own nose. He wouldn't have even considered that to be an option, because it certainly wouldn't have been an option to him. I don't consider it an option. I just consider it a choice. It's a necessary choice, because I'm not about to do any of that stuff. My employer's trying to hold me over barrel. Well, I don't know what to say, but you're not going to do that. And they didn't. And as it turns out, I could have gone. Nobody was going to ask, and that part was true. But my other concern was that by the time the concert was taking place, I had already spent my last day at my employer. And it's probably just a good thing I didn't spend an extra $80, considering I don't have another job lined up at the moment. That's caused a rift. He was obviously pretty upset about it. Didn't speak to me after that. I didn't speak to him either, because basically what he said next was, well, there's only one way to fix that. And I'm thinking to myself, really? I'm gonna go get basted so I can see a concert? No. And considering he knew what my position was, he knows that I'd have no intention of doing that. And he's already made reference to stupid idiots that won't get basted. So, I said, look, I'm one of those stupid idiots that you consider stupid because I won't do what you do. But I texted him shortly after, because I found some YouTube videos of that concert. Looked like a really nice night. And I sent him a couple of clips from different places in the audience, because he was in that audience, and I thought he might enjoy seeing a clip of the night again, Different people had taken shots. I sent him a clip, and I said, it looked like a nice night. And I sent him a couple more clips and from different places in the audience, and he never responded, which isn't like him. A few days later, I was sitting in my front room, and I was going to go over to my brother's later in the evening, and it was kind of late, and I knew I'd probably be falling out. I had to do some work on my car, so I figured, well, I'll get a little cat nap in, and then put some coffee on and hit the road, go to my brother's. So I sat down in the lazy boy chair, and I think I was probably maybe asleep 10 minutes out of maybe 25 that I was lying there relaxing. During that time, my friend came. I didn't hear, I had the phone right next to me, but apparently the volume was turned down because I didn't hear the text. But apparently he had texted me when he had left work that day. And he said he was going to come over, but he didn't have time to stop and talk or visit. He had someplace to go, but he was going to stop over and drop off a couple of DVDs that he had borrowed from me. Now, he borrowed those DVDs from me something like 4 years ago, maybe more. I don't know. And maybe 2 or 3 years ago, I had said something to him about, because I knew he was really busy. I said, are you done watching those DVDs yet? And he said, no. So it's like, okay, well, he'll give them back when he's done with them. Well, it was a couple of years ago. And I kind of almost forgot about him until he texted me. And see, here's the thing. I'm sitting over there and the chair crashed out. I could have easily seen him pull into the driveway had I been awake. If he's walking up to the front walk, he could have easily seen me sitting there in the chair. He didn't knock on the door. The door was locked on the outside, and so he just left him outside. He said he'd put him in the door, but the door wasn't locked, so he left him outside. He knew I was here. So he said, so I didn't even know, and I went to go out to my car, and I looked at my phone, and I had a text from him that said he was going to stop, and apparently 10 minutes later he stopped, and then he just dropped him off, and he left him on the ledge outside of the house, and just before I left, I happened to see the text, or I would have left him sitting on the ledge. It's like, that's so unusual. It's so unlike him. And I was talking to my brother about it. I was telling him what happened, and he started laughing. He goes, dude, he's breaking up with you. I mean, that's kind of how it seems. He's bringing back all my stuff, right? Here's his stuff, and he just left a note, It's like, well, or a text that said, I should have brought these back to you a long time ago. So, but why now? Why now? Why? I don't know, man. I don't know what to say. But these, there's other oddities going on too, and it has to do with basted friends. They're not acting the same as they used to, and that's a fact. People better wake up to what this is. You're fooling yourself if you think it's got every single thing as the mark of the beast, except it just doesn't have the mark. Come on. Once that stuff's inside you, you have the mark. This video is getting long, so I'll just stop here for now. I might have some more to say after this. Sure. I have a lot to say. It's just a matter of actually getting it out there. There's a lot of stuff been on my mind lately. Maybe it's just time to vent. You guys have a good one.